All right, so we're finishing up our 3 video series here on long-term care planning. The series is about real client stories from the field. So Derek and I were out here talking to people literally all day, every day about various things. We help people apply, we see the outcomes. And today we wanted to tell a story. I had a client who in 2018, he purchased a $100,000 nationwide hybrid policy, and we got him covered. He was healthy, everything was good. And, it was a decent level of coverage. But a couple years later, he decided that he wanted to maybe add a little bit more coverage. Maybe just get a new policy to add on to what he already had, kind of stack it. But he had been diagnosed with kidney disease, and in the interim. Doesn't affect his current policy, but now he can't buy a new policy. So, Derek, let's kind of talk about health and how it falls into long-term care planning.
Yeah, you have to be healthy to get long-term care insurance because you have to pass medical underwriting. And you're also balancing, the decision on whether you need to get it or not with just real life. I mean, people have mortgages that they have to pay. They have to fund. I talked with a guy today who's saving money for his daughter's wedding that's next year. You have to pay kids, get them through college, get them self-sufficient. So we get it. So it's often people can't get the exact type of policy they want right now. But what we advise people is get what you can afford right now, because you can always layer on another policy down the road. So it's very common where somebody will get just a modest policy just to cover kind of a foundational policy to cover the basic risk. And if something happens between now and the time they can get a more formal policy with higher end benefits, if something happens, at least they have something in place.
Yeah, we should name the video title, "A Little Bit of Something is Better Than a Whole Lot of Nothing."
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. We have these ideals of we want the perfect situation, but it doesn't exist. So you kind of have to do the best you can at the given time. And then as life progresses and some more funds free up, maybe then you can layer on another policy. I always give the example of a husband and wife, they have their first kid, they get a life insurance policy. And then 3 years down the road, they have twins. It doesn't mean they cancel their first policy. They usually keep that rolling, but they can layer on another policy down the road, and you can use both policies in tandem.
Right. And, it kind of also plays into the whole don't wait to do this thing, because, a lot of people will say, okay, I'm 55. And we talked about this in the first video of our 3-part series. I'm 55. What if I wait till I'm 60? Yeah, financially, it's not as advantageous to wait, but from a health standpoint, it can be catastrophic.
Yeah, because it's also typically they'll start accumulating medications as they age. But the other variable we've noticed in our, I guess, about 27th year doing this is the companies are getting tighter and tighter on what types of health conditions they'll insure. So their height weight tables, they're more restrictive. They used to take insulin up to 100 units a day. Now they won't even touch insulin. So we've seen over the past quarter of a century that the insurance companies, as they see more claims data come in, they get tighter on who they're going to let into the long-term care insurance.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And, I've heard from some clients who are in the AI space and the tech space that a lot of these companies are using a scoring system now, and there's very little even human review. It's like, how do you look on paper? So while you look good on paper, take advantage of that. No one's guaranteed health. Having said that, we don't want to be scaremongers. We always say, Derek, you're famous for this. You know your health better than anybody. So, take that and use it to your advantage.
Yeah. And so, Drew, if people want to learn more about what we do, what actions can they take right now?
Yeah, so a lot of people are probably curious if they qualify or not, and we can figure that out in a couple minutes. So we're LTC Tree. Probably the best thing to do is just go to our website, ltctree.com, and fill out a quote request. That will get one of us cranking away on putting together some side-by-side comparisons from the different companies. If you're just wanting to have a short conversation with no obligation, you can give us a call on our toll-free number, 1-800-800-6139. We'll put it on the screen. But either way, no obligation. It's a short, simple phone call. We do dozens of times a day with people all over the country. We're both licensed in all 50 states.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for watching the last of our 3-part series. We do these videos weekly, so we'll be back with another round in the next week or two. Thanks, guys.